Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to say, I came, I saw, I conquered. I conquered the bad fur day when I came, and I'm not going to say where the fur was. Oh, wait a minute. I got something to tell you. I come to say shut the fuck up to every single one of you dumbass sugar tits. Okay, now that I got your attention, let me discuss about what has been happening to me as of recent. I was an intern at Disney Animation Television, working closely with Alex Hirsch and Darren Nefsey. The latter is the showrunner, creator, writer, and dictator behind Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I was hired by Nefsey and the company to write story ideas for an episode because I honestly thought, without even seeing the show, it was more of an awkward experience. You see, to explain myself to you strangers, the original storyline for Season 3 was supposed to be a bit more chaotic and mature themed in comparison to the childish first two seasons. Yet it was rejected due to it ruining the continuity of an already ruined series. Really, I should have just ended it there, but no. Disney TV executives, voice actors Eden Sher and Adam MacArthur, creator Darren Nefsey, you may have heard of him before, felt unnerved once they were asked to screen the upcoming episode. This was following after Booth Buddies, but the title was never revealed. So what was my mission? My mission hill was my mission hell. Well, Darren and company asked if I could screen it on my own to double-check this episode before its initial, albeit unspecified, air date. So I went to the screening room, grabbed a notebook and pencil, pulled down my pants, got myself a towel and a Nintendo Switch, just in case the episode bores me. I could just play a little Smash Bros. Ultimate, or maybe a remastered WarioWare straight out of my Virtual Boy. Yeah. Some food. 7-Eleven Slurpee Voltage flavored Mountain Dew, steamed hams over at Wendy's, $3.99 tamale nacho crusted cheese tacos from Taco Bell. I'm actually Guy Fieri, no I'm not. And so, I prepared myself in more ways than one, and the episode played. The intro played normally as I got a huge erection from the song's glorious jamminal lyrics.
Star, it's gonna get a little weird. It's gonna get a little wild. I'm not from around here. I'm from another dimension.
Good thing I brought my towel, if you know what I mean. Something seemed off. All the characters in the series that were used in this intro looked rather disappointed, especially Star, who stared down at her knees in utter dismay. There's also Marco looking like a member of an illegal Mexican drug cartel. Toffee looking like a Fox News anchor. Funny, because viewing this back in July 2017, Disney hadn't even bought 20th Century Fox yet. And there was Jackie wearing a cane, top hat, suit, bow tie, a monocle, condom, and appearing to have wooden teeth. What makes it more insulting is that the star in Star's wand was actually Darren Nefsey's head, smiling sinister-like, as if the show she was making was just a flat-out scam toward the viewers. I thought nothing of it. All I wanted to do was watch this allegedly fine and enjoyable program that I'd never seen before. The episode is set in Muni, but during an overhead view of the castle, we see Star using her wand to turn her chair into something white and chalk-like, and takes her straw too, but wait. She's snorting cocaine? How could there be references to drug use in a kids' television program? It doesn't help that the animation changes every single shot. At one point, it looks like the current animation done with Rough Draft Korea turned into a Toon City episode from Season 1B, then to Mercury Filmworks from the earlier episodes. All in 4 different shots. Doesn't help that the animation this time around looked a lot cheaper, as if it was outsourced from a more worn-down animation studio or the people who make Dolan Duck cartoons. Only this time Star looked like a Seth MacFarlane character done in MS Paint. To add insult to injury, there was even some kind of cutaway gag she made, in which she sang my favorite song. Although it was unexpected, Can't Stop Partying by Weezer, featuring a duet by Eclipsa. Oh, baby. The episode cut back as Marco came in, but sounded awfully angry and depressed sounding. It's unusual to have Marco break character. Plus, it sounded like actor Adam MacArthur was trying to voice an older, much sadder version of the character, as if Adam sounded insecure about himself during production. Star, we need to save Mjolnir. Star responds,
Who are you anyway?
Wait, what? I didn't even see the show, but Star knew Marco from the beginning of the series, supposedly, so how could Star forget so quickly? That was out of character for her. I mean, as wonky as this episode was, especially with its inconsistent animation errors, the episode started out fine until the scene with Toffee. He is the lizard, the size of a human, and the main villain of the series, but here he appeared 300 feet tall like Godzilla, and also had a Hitler mustache. Look, the citizens of Muni were alerted and they tried to run as fast as possible, but both King and Queen Butterfly were both seen outside being crushed by Toffee's foot in the most hyper-realistic way possible. We've seen realistically animated blood and gore from other series of realistic grisly images. I mean, I wouldn't blame people running away from this lizard, though it was just that realistic. No wonder the animation studio changed this season, as well as the first few episodes. Doesn't help that the animation now turned into a Ren and Stimpy style animation, as if Duran Nifty's drawings were changed to John K's. And when Marco and Star began to panic, the background suddenly turned psychedelic. Even Star looked like Ren Hoek trying to slap the shit out of Marco, like how Ren does to Stimpy in that program. Star grabs her wand to destroy Toffee, but ends up being zapped in the process. She was zapped with photorealistic blood and gore coming from the Princess Star. We can see human skeletons drawn in the process. Doesn't help that there was some audio glitch during the making, as we can hear Duran Nifty snickering in the background, as if she wants to destroy the creation, as well as her fan base. You know what? Fuck this show. The scene cuts to Star lying in a hospital bed, as we also see Marco, Tom, Eclipsa, Jackie, Ponyhead, Ludo, Jonna, Brittany, Alfonso, Ferguson, Hekapu, Meteora, Andrea, Starfan 13, and Hope in the same hospital setting. Something seemed off. The animation looked unfinished. It looked cheaper than a $3 whore. And when the characters spoke, their lips didn't match what they said. You know, the lip syncing is just as shitty as the cutscenes, straight out of a few early PS1 Tomb Raider games. If you've ever played them, you know. Duran Nefsi doesn't know anything about animation, I swear. He's probably the same person who claims that Earth is a round planet. Ugh. I'll blade spheroid my asshole. This studio's full of idiots. The people in the hospital were seen crying as Marco wanted to say his final goodbye to Star, until she herself had something to say, which gave me a frozen headache. You see, Earth was never a pretty place, and neither was Muni. Nothing is safe, not in this entire universe. There is something you need to know. If people say God is good, if people believe in God, how come he created something that can destroy everything? How come people die every day, get killed, murdered in wars, bombing, mass shootings, terrorist activities, natural weather, disasters? How could people do maniacal things to each other, spit in each other's faces as if there's no problem whatsoever? The problem of suffering is real. The camera suddenly zooms into Star's face. It zooms deeper and deeper in the most uncomfortable way possible. I could see a realistically detailed version of Star's face. Little Marco, How about we dispel with this fiction once and for all and guess where I'm going? Choose and guess which one before I quickly die in a few seconds. There are two places we all know, heaven and hell. I'll give you one hint. It's the one place I'm going and I'd frankly rather go. Wow, what made it more horrifying was that her face was drawn in so much detail, looking like a realistic human face. Well, while speaking, her mouth was changed to Synchrovox. Just someone filming her mouth moving green screened in a cartoon face, similar to the opening theme song to SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, I tried to enjoy my food and my towel while all this bullshit was happening. But then something bewildering and chaotic happened, and it shed a popsicle-flavored tear in my eye. An orange creamsicle. Star passed away, and the characters were sobbing. The voices sounded a lot more true than anything throughout the series. The clumsy animation involved Star morphing into a CG-rendered skeleton, but poorly rendered in 3DS Studio Max, as if this was taken directly from some random animator's college portfolio demo reel. In other words, someone who just knew how to use 3D animation techniques, yet didn't know how to properly animate. The shitty rendered animated skeleton appeared. A moment of silence occurred as the gang took their bow before they began to sob one last time. Jackie broke down her tearful sexual nut. It was the most depressing nut in a kid's cartoon show, and I can't believe it was in a kid's show, not a porno. The scene cuts to Marco and friends sobbing, plus Eclipse, Hekapoo, and Jackie appearing to have top hats, bow ties, canes, wooden teeth, condoms, and each of them happen to have peanut butter sandwiches with googly eyes on top of them. To make matters worse, the animation drastically changed to some 8-year-old doodling made in math class in crimson red Crayola washable markers. As I see throughout this entire mess of this scene, all blood with Star's tombstone that features a horribly copy and pasted one with the Star of David in the subtitles hastily written in stencils. Here lies the Muni princess. She was from another dimension. Though in a matter of seconds, black bars blocked the words with text written in Yiddish Hebrew language, but yet somehow poorly translated in German, both at once. The scene cuts to her floating in outer space on her way to heaven, until she was directly pulled straight to the gates of hell. Circular, fiery layers were drawn more realistically. Star screamed her lungs out, and it sounded like Eden Sure actually screaming in her violent, grisly terror attacks, thinking there was something truly horrifying was happening. What the fuck was wrong with this episode? What is this? I spat out one of my Taco Bell enchilada shell tacos, just watching the scene unfold, screaming out louder and louder to the point where loud static noises started buzzing into my ears of blood. Sadly, the worst had yet to come, because this, what I've just witnessed, yeah, that's right, it wasn't the worst part of this episode. Star appeared in hell as Satan approached her. He had a growling banshee scream accompanied by his demonized laugh, sounding even louder than I thought. I'm surprised it's not just dogs that are scared of this. That insult to injury, and dear Lord, people will not believe me. His bloody crimson red pitchfork morphed into an early 90s boombox radio. And Satan turned into a SoundCloud rapper version of himself as a shitty trap beat started to play. Trust me, I know what Daron Nefsi was thinking when she made this episode. It ended up being a rap battle between Satan and Star. Funny, you think Lucifer himself would play a mean-ass fiddle down to Georgia. You may think he's a great subject for death metal, black metal, grindcore, but now he's going to do some epic mumble rapping battle with a shitty trap beat playing as he dresses up as a SoundCloud trap beat rapper. I mean, it's cool that he's getting hip with the times, I guess, but Satan starts his first rap verse.
Yo, Satan. Now, y'all.
I've been arriving at high caliber $1 million bills, y'all. Star Yours fucking trash shitty body pillow. Your fan base will fuck your character is ghetto, but. Well, hold up. That's not how you rap. Cursing in a kid's cartoon show? Luckily, I was in a production test screening and not a Christian Discord server, or else I'd ban the frick out of this episode. Dicks. Also, nice of Duran to shatter the fourth wall talking about the fan base and its characters shipping. But what the hell is this? Is this how she visions rap battles? Did Neff see herself see a rap battle in real life? Perfect. Star Butterfly was next to rap. Ta, 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 ta. Hey, Red, smell a dick, you dumbass shit. I ain't in the mood. I boat like a fancy steak restaurant. Use that shitty fast food. I'm the motherfucking crushing cook, queen of Muni. That's right, bitch. And I'll whip your ass like moon, butterfly, spaghetti. No, this was not going to work. The rhyming and rhythm techniques from both of them were terrible. This was their idea of a rap battle or a trap-style mumble rap. Oh, to make the scene worse than the shitty rap battle, Satan's minions appeared in the background watching the rap battle. But these aforementioned demon-filled minions were actually real-life deceased rappers. Eazy-E, Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Nate Dogg, Run DMC, Avakai, Old Dirty Bastard, Deshaun Dupree, Mobb Deep, XXX, Tentaction, John Denver. Keep in mind, it was screened back in 2017 before Evicki and XXX's death the next year respectively happened. Satan was next to rap with yet another shitty rhyme. Oh, what a shocker, am I right? He rapped the following. You ain't deck no more, you ain't deck no more, you ain't a queen but more a cuckold, dumped up attention whore. The only spell your ass casts with your wand is a shittier quality spell. You shittier than an enchilada nacho shell taco from Taco Bell. So how did he know about my tacos? Not to mention, I could hear sounds of banshee growl cheering from the dead rappers. Then it was Star's turn.
You better watch your fox mouth. Y'all mumble shit like a trashy waifu. You can't play fiddle no more. You can't even train some kung fu. So get the damn out of here. Your self-centered so-called Satanist. This crap beats a faggot. And you tell Harvey Weinstein guy's on a rapist.
This all offends me, triggers me more than any special snowflake SJWs over at Tumblr and the Twitter. She said faggot on TV. It's bad enough that there's too much cussing in a family-oriented animated series, let alone in this rap scene. Though at least she and the devil are seen smoking some cigars over in Britain, which, you know, they refer to them as faggots there, so I sighed in relief that they were only referring to cigars as faggots, but no. The screaming got louder and louder. More static ringing noises were heard. Droopy dog. My ears bled and red rum hard to the point where I could barely hear anything anymore. The volume of each screams were cranked up to 50 that I could feel my seats shaking. I then realized it was a reference to rapper 50 Cent, who's been shot 50 times and is still alive. But would I still be alive after all this? I thought there was a crackling earthquake in the middle of this horrible test screening theater. I had to run out suddenly. Both Star, Butterfly, and Satan were staring at my glancing soul with their vulgar, violent, disheveled, photorealistic, bloodshot eyes without even any hints of blinking. Star had a sinister smile, showing her razor-sharp, knife-shaped teeth. She violently threatened out this command to me.
If you walk away from this episode screening, I will jump out of the screen and use my wand to turn your dick into a llama. You don't want that to happen, do you? Huh? Do you, Mr. Theodore Arthur Teddy McCallaham Heisler III?
What? How did she know my name? I assumed that was why Satan mentioned the Taco Bell tacos I began to eat. He wanted the receipt for the credit card information to see my name. But sweet baby darn, I rushed out of the screening room. I grabbed the DVD once, I snuck into the projection room and stormed straight to Daron Nefsi's office, demanding the meaning of this train wreck. Slammed the DVD to her desk, and I even asked with my shouting voice, "What the fuck is this bullshit?" Her chair swiveled around, revealing, well, it's hard to even explain. She turned around with her evil grin staring at my soul, and she used her plastic wand, used for promotions of the show, to turn me into toffee. Honestly, I thought that her wand was plastic and fake, but it turns out it's a style of witchcraft, ended up ruining my life forever. I ended up becoming Toffee. Eden Sher was in a costume as Star, and Adam MacArthur was in a costume as Marco Diaz. But all this was real. This was no cartoon anymore. Daron exclaims, "Okie dokie, guys, let's start shooting this new theory." That insult to injury, she used her same wand to turn that Star versus Screener DVD into a Family Guy DVD. I panicked. I had to rush out, but things seemed off. Everything is in an animated form, albeit inconsistently animated. Every season at this point, Star Verses were filmed on location. They were not drawn. Daron Nefsi has been lying to you, especially the fan base, this whole entire time. I was one of many reasons why I was shipped from another character with another character. Moral of the story, do not trust talented creators. They will take you for granted. Mommy and Daddy, please forgive me for working my college intern at a so-called animation studio. I'm typing this all out and saying it all out and saying it all out and typing it all out in my brains and my mind before I attempt to say goodbye to this cruel world. Goodbye forever. That's the sound of a rope.